everyone, and welcome to Hidden Magicks, the first ever actual play on the Chaotic Creations Twitch channel. My name is Harper. I am going to be your dungeon master for this lovely adventure, and I am going to go ahead and let my players introduce themselves, starting with the lovely Alicia to my right.
Hello, I am Alicia, and I will be playing Jade Minot, just a nice gal trying to make her way through life.
Next up is AJ.
Hi, I'm AJ, and I'll be playing, my name's Keon Sharp. Please stay over there, or else I'm going to have to stab you.
Next up is Darby.
Hi, I'm Darby, and I'll be playing Connie Caney Diva Dallas. Can I say my own character's name? No, I can't, but I have an accent, because this is the only accent I can do.
And last but not least is D.
Oh, hi. I'm D. I am playing the very normal, definitely a bard, Maltion.
And as I said, this is Hidden Magicks. So we're going to start off this first episode with just a little bit of background on where our story takes place, and then we are going to launch in to session. So, the Goteramun Empire has existed for almost a millennia. The Empire was created when the Goteramun family, who vehemently hated magic in all its forms, started attacking and killing mages, specializing in warcraft against casters. Other families, realizing how powerful the Goteramus were becoming, united under their banner and became the noble houses of the Empire. Each noble house is tasked with the running of a different region of the Empire, and the Emperor oversees all. In the last 300 years, magic has slowly been allowed back into the Empire, but only through strictly regulated means. All mages must be licensed by either a college or a church for the use of their magic. Non-licensed casters face harsh punishments, and the punishment for being discovered to be a caster with inherently magical lineage, or a blood caster, can have not only themselves but their entire families killed. Because of the lack of casters in the Empire, many Empire citizens have never even met a mage, and some of the more rural folk may even believe magic to be inherently evil or extinct from this world. Our story begins in the year 937 of the Empire, the reign of Kanan Goteramu, the 24th Emperor, in the small city of Trivik. Trivik is in the Onkalo region of the Empire. It is not itself home to any particular magical college, though mages do pass through with relative frequency, and there are even a couple of mages in residence in the churches. There are 2 churches in the town, one to Saloon and one to Arathis. Trivik is a small city in a relatively border region, and people make their way to Trivik as tourists, and also for haven, those seeking their fortunes, and those seeking to be left alone. When we start our story, our adventurers have just been acquainted with each other. They have just met, and Jade has gone hunting and recruited 3 unlikely companions for a contract with the mercenary guild, the Crow's Cradle. And as it is nearing 7 o'clock at night, bless you, my cat just sneezed. Nearing 7 o'clock at night, the moon is rising higher in the sky. You all make your way toward the Crow's Cradle. As the 4 of you enter the Crow's Cradle, Jade, I assume that you're leading the way?
Absolutely.
All right, and you see at the familiar front desk, Velma, who is the head of the Crow's Cradle in Trivik.
Hey there, Velma. Rustled up some other people for that job.
Oh, that was quick. I only sent you out a couple hours ago. Okay. Who are they?
Priority bonus. Oh, they are. Hold on. I think I got it. That one's Multion, that one's Connie, and that one's Keon. I think I got that right.
All right, and as the 3 of you follow Jade in, you can see Velma take a moment and just kind of look all 3 of you up and down. Particularly Multion, who's dressed in tie-dyes.
Very wide smile.
Mm-hmm.
Hi there.
I feel like it takes a while because I'm also 7 too. So
Yeah, the up and down takes a moment. She looks all the way up, all the way down, back at your face. But the first thing she does is look at Connie and say, "Oh, Priestess of the Moon? Nice to see you. Hello?"
Hello. Indeed I am.
So, what is it that you all do? I assume Jade told you what this is all about?
Really, I just kind of said it was for money.
Which is good enough for me.
same. It's pretty good for me too.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. You'll fit in pretty well around here. So this, and she'll pull out a stack of parchments and start dividing them into 4 stacks, is the contract that you all will be fulfilling. There have been a group of bandits that have been raiding the farms on the outskirts of the city, and you all are being contracted to go find the bandits and kill or capture. We're offering 10 gold per head, 25 gold per body, and 50 gold each for bringing them back alive. Of course, that price does not include the 10% cut that the guild will take. And I will need to see your identification before allowing the non-guild members to take a contract.
Why, yes, of course. Wouldn't expect anything otherwise. Connie will present her identification.
Okay. And Velma will take it, look at it, and go, Connie Dividalis?
Dividalis. It's an old name.
Dividalis, alright. And she'll start scribbling down information from your identification card onto the contract, and she'll say, Divine Caster, huh?
Indeed, indeed.
What kind of hocus pocus do you do?
Oh, you know, I'm a traveling priestess, so a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of healing, a little bit of some of it.
Fair enough. Go ahead, sign here. She'll hand you over the contract and a quill.
Okay. Connie will.
Alright.
Connie will, not Carnival.
Who's next?
Keon's just gonna shuffle through his bag, and then he's like, here you go.
Alright, and she'll reach up and take it. Say, don't see many bugbears around these parts.
Yeah, don't see very much bugbears around these parts either.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of tend to stay in one place, but, you know, gotta see the world.
I can respect a wandering spirit. And she'll copy down your information. Hand you back your ID card and say, sign here.
Keon's actually gonna look over the, contract more closely. Just to, give it a once-over
Okay.
before signing it.
It's a fairly... You've taken out some mercenary contracts before. It's fairly basic. It lists out the prices that she's given you for bringing back the bandits or pieces of them, as well as the 10% cut that the guild will be taking. You do have some access to the guild's armory for work related to this job. The guild assumes none of the costs incurred should you be injured or killed.
And how much was it to bring them alive, and how much was it to bring them dead, essentially?
10 gold for their heads, 25 gold for their bodies, 50 gold for them alive, each bandit.
And how many bandits total are there?
You didn't ask.
Gotcha. Maltion will step forward and do a magic trick to produce their license into their hand. Just like a sleight of hand, card trick.
Okay.
Very Jimmy Woo.
I was
Now-
gonna say it.
I had a bit of a further question, if you didn't mind. How many bandits exactly are we looking at here?
We've heard reports of anywhere from 8 to 10 of them to a dozen. I don't know, their numbers might be growing.
Interesting. Interesting indeed.
And she'll take your ID card, and she'll say, Arcane Caster, huh?
Yes.
And she'll kind of lean around and eye the loot case on your back. Just say, huh. Okay. Start copying down your information.
While she's doing that, Keon is definitely signing
Okay.
his name.
And once you do that, she will push the stack of papers that she's been copying out toward Maltion and say, here you go, sign here. And take the stack from Keon and say, thank you.
Maltion will start to pace back and forth and say, so if our numbers are upwards of a dozen, and I'll cast Mage Hand and sign the papers while Maltion's talking. If that is the case, 12 or so bandits, how are these bandits identified? Do they have a central hub that we can see them within, or how will we know that we found the right people?
You'd have to go and ask some of the people who have been hit by them. There's a couple farms on the edge of town you can probably talk to. Poor folks. We don't have an exact location for them. They're off somewhere in the forest outside. They don't seem to have a central location that we've found yet. Normally this would be a kind of thing for the authorities to deal with, but there's just not enough of them in Trivik, honestly, to spare to go on a hunt of this size. So, we've been contracted.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. Well, I for one am excited to get this under the way. You all are so vastly interesting. And, of course, hopefully this would be a suitable tryout if one wanted to join the guild in a more official capacity.
She'll kind of look you up and down and she'll go, we can talk about it depending on how many of them you bring back.
Wonderful. 2 birds with 1 stone, then. Shall we?
Well, I mean, you can go tonight if you want. I know that Jade's always eager, but I was kind of assuming you all wouldn't leave until the morning, considering it's already dark out.
Well, nighttime is a little bit of my specialty.
I mean, okay, sure.
And I'm pretty sure that there's probably some of these farmers you were referring to probably out drinking, rest from the day.
Yeah, it's a possibility. Alright, if you all want to get started early, I'm not going to stop you. Absolutely.
Also, if
Time
we
is
can-
money, Velma.
We can recognize a pattern of some sort. Perhaps we can set up watch at a farm that hasn't been hidden. Catch them in the act. Simplify this greatly.
Not gonna tell you how to do your job, kid. Jade, I'm gonna need you to sign yours too. Standard stuff.
Oh, yeah. Sure thing. Jade will zip through her paperwork.
And you can see that she's already filled out your information at the top. I mean, alright. Jade, you can probably know where to find if the farmers are out drinking. I know that at the very least, Elsha has been hit, so you could probably go and talk to her. And, Jade, you would know that Elsha is one of the, farmers in the outside of town who does occasionally venture her way into town and sells to, your guild hall, and provides much of the food that you all eat here.
All right, I think I'll try and track her down. That's a shame. I really liked her chickens.
Yeah,
Well,
well.
hopefully we can get her chickens back, or at least bring some justice to them.
Sure, that works. But all right, to the bar. To the starting the job.
I'm not gonna tell you how to do your job, Jade. Just do it quick.
Can do. All right, company, let's roll out. Go ahead.
Keon, you do notice one more thing as you take a quick look through the contract, that the contractor's name is not listed, the person who is contracting you. That spot is blank.
I feel like from Keon's past experience, not questioning who's giving the job, saves his ass a little bit, so he's just gonna leave that be.
Okay. In that case, you all are making your way out, and Jade, do you want to look for Elsha at a bar, or are you gonna try and go straight to her home?
At the bar first.
Okay. Which bar?
While we are
Oh, go ahead.
while we are on our way to the bar, Maltion will take off any double banded things that they still have and sort of just put them in the side pocket.
Okay, sure thing. So you're removing all your jewelry, just looking less ostentatious. As less ostentatious as you can. Jade, where would you like to go looking?
Let's see. How successful is Elsa's farm? Basically, Jade would figure she would go like lower or mid tier in terms of bars.
Elsa's farm is fairly successful. She supplies your guild hall. She also sells to some of the churches. You think that maybe to the Church of Arathis? You're not entirely sure, honestly. So you know that she runs a pretty successful business. It's a large farm.
Okay. Jade would probably go for a mid tier bar then.
Okay. So you've already been to the Blushing Maiden tonight, so you know that she's probably not in there. You would have seen her and recognized her. So I'm assuming then that you make your way to the Blue Badger.
Blue Badger. All right. Let's go on and let's badger us up some clues.
All right.
Good old
Keon's-
fun.
Keon's already face palming. Oh no. What have I got myself into?
I would bar no sense of humor like that.
Let's get this over with. Yeah?
All right. So you may all make your way to the Blue Quarter. Jade, I'm assuming, in the front.
Yep.
And
I'm strong.
And you make your way to the Blue Badger.
As we approach the bar, how many windows are on the building?
It's a fairly nice bar in a fairly nice part of town. You can see that at the front of the bar, more of a tavern, really, an inn. You can see that there are large panes of frosted glass in the front and on the sides of this building. And the front door also has glass, but it is a stained glass patterning, all done in different shades of blue of a badger.
Okay. Okay.
And you can see the warm glow of firelight from what looks like multiple fireplaces leaking out from the windows. And you can hear, even from outside, the murmur of conversation.
Gotcha. All right. I will hold the door open for my three companions.
Kind of curtsy a little bit as she walks in to Maltion. Thank you kindly.
Of course.
Jade just strides on by. Thank you.
Naturally.
Dipping my head in. Pretty sure this door is not big enough for me.
This door is about 4 inches shorter than you are.
Yep. Yeah, I figured.
Gosh.
So you all make your way inside, and you can hear the sounds of laughter and conversation and the smell of meat that has been roasting for the better part of the evening. It's filling the hall. You can see that there are multiple people in here after a hard day's work. Generally, a better dressed group. You are in the Blue Quarter, so there's a lot of the upper crust here. And you are looking for Elsha.
Correct.
All right. Jay, can you go ahead and roll me a perception check?
Can do, boss. Oh, actually, I can do it. I'm not going to do roll 20, but I can do it on the thing. Perception, right?
Yes.
That's a natural one.
Oh wow.
Oh, we're starting
Starting
this
off real
strong, aren't we?
Yeah. We,
That's a good omen.
You
What's a-
let me down, D&D Beyond.
what's a person?
person?
Who are you? What am I?
I can't. I surely can't see anything. Room full of
Okay.
chairs.
So
I feel dice betrayed me.
So Jade, you are looking around the bar and you don't. It's very crowded. There's almost a light smoke of, a light haze of pipe smoke drifting around the bar. You do not recognize any of these people. This is a totally unfamiliar crowd tonight. You think to yourself, like, maybe the tourists have wandered their way up to the Blue Quarter? Don't know what they're all doing here. But you do not see Elsha anywhere.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm still here. Might as well get myself a little drink. Maybe a little drink will help clear my eyes a bit.
This will be a wonderful opportunity to get to know the rest of y'all a little better. Sort of-
Yes, we shouldn't
Sorta-
be in any hurry.
Yeah,
We're
sort
already
of-
ahead of schedule by being here.
yeah.
I'm definitely I want to clock any people that would give me trouble, essentially.
Sure thing. Go ahead and make me a perception check just to look around the tavern and see who's here.
All right. Wow, we are really going strong here, folks. That is a 5.
Okay.
Yipes.
Awesome. Right? Yeah. Of course. Naturally.
Naturally.
Get those bad rolls out now.
Yeah.
Yeah, before comment.
So you look around, and I mean, no one here looks like they'd be your kind of person. They all look, like I said, very upper crusty. You can see some people who you think might be minor nobles. You can see a couple of people who you think maybe are some kind of merchants. You don't see anyone openly carrying anything more dangerous than a dagger.
Looking around the room, is there anyone who is looking at us at all? Interesting. Like, have we piqued anyone's curiosity as we walked in?
Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Ooh, I'm good at those. Not really. Oh yes, I am. I'm a liar.
High deception or insight.
Okay. That'd be an 18.
Okay. You can see that your interesting mix walking into the door has drawn a couple of eyes. They mostly seem to be focused on the tall bugbear that's at the back of your group. But no one looks particularly intrigued by you. They all seem to be... No one here seems to be drinking alone. They all seem to have come with someone or with a group of people.
Okay, so there's no single individuals at the bar that perhaps look a little well-to-do, like please.
Not at the bar, no. You don't see anyone.
Tragic.
As we're approaching the bar, I want to steal someone's coin purse.
Okay.
Just bump
I
into someone
am
on the way to the bar.
living a life free of crime, and this is
I
happening right
regret
Uh,
every decision.
Maltion, go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check.
It's a 23.
Okay. Hold on just
Or
a
no,
moment.
wait. I was looking at the wrong thing.
Okay.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Well, I also am rolling terribly tonight. So that's great. All right. So you pick your mark. Describe them to me.
They're probably taller, broad-shouldered, dark blue cape, very loudly boasting about something over toward the bar. And I just want to sort of just... Oh, so sorry. Dreadfully sorry about that. My apologies. Just keep walking.
Don't worry about it. And you do manage to successfully lift the coin purse. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Coolio. That's a 10.
Okay. Just taking a peek around, doesn't look like anyone noticed you.
Sick. Excuse me, barkeep. If you don't mind around for my friends here.
And you'll see another half-orc turn around and say, sure, what can I get you? Oh, Jade! How you doing?
Hey there.
And you recognize this is Toby.
Hey there, Toby. I'm doing just fine. Rustled up a couple people to help me with a job, that's all.
Oh, that sounds fun. Okay then, what can I get for you all?
Ooh, let's see, why don't... My new friend doesn't know how much I can drink, so let's go with something let's go with something in the middle.
Alright, can do. And for the rest of you?
Whatever
Just
Jade
water.
said.
I don't drink.
Okay,
Give me a strong one.
can do. And, you little miss.
I'll have the same as whatever Jade's having.
Okay. And so he will turn back to his array of bottles and taps along the wall, and he'll pull down 3 glasses and 2 bottles of liquor off of the wall. One is a deep amber color, and one is clear. He'll pour about 3 fingers of the clear one out for in one glass, and the other 2 he will drop in a couple of ice cubes from an ice chest underneath the bar, and then fill them to the brim. He'll pass them over to the clear one to Keon, the brown ones to Jade and Connie, and then he'll be like, right, water. And he'll grab a water skin from under the bar and just pass it to you, Maltion.
Dope.
That'll be... Jade, you and I are friends. That'll just be, 15 silver?
Feel free to open up a tab, and I'll take any money that is spent here spent out of the coin purse that I stole.
Great. Let's actually check how much money is in that coin purse that you stole.
Electrum.
So, actually, in that coin purse, you find 50 gold pieces, 19 silver, and 10 electrum.
Hey.
We're using Electrum in this campaign.
used Electrum.
So fun. No one uses it. I'm so excited that Electrum's going to use that.
We'll get into what electrum is used for. It's fine.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we use electrum in this campaign.
Great.
So he passes you over the drinks. You all staying at the bar? Or are you looking for a table?
Let's grab a table.
Table sounds good.
All right. So you see that there are a couple empty tables around, relatively equidistant to. There are 2 large fireplaces burning on either side of the main tavern. So you can, without too much trouble, find an empty table and take your seat.
One further in the back, facing the door.
Sure. So a little bit closer to the bar. The bar's on the opposite side of the tavern from the door.
If at all possible, I'd also like to be within 60 feet of a window.
Yeah, that's no trouble.
Maltion will say, so, Jade, how did you find yourself working with the guild?
Oh, well, I joined up with the guild actually in a different city, but I've been here for a while at this point.
Interesting. And have we spotted our quarry at all? Or?
Not as of yet, but I suppose it isn't terribly late yet. Might still stop by. I guess I could describe what else it looks like to y'all, so y'all can also keep out an eye. Nothing like having some extra eyes to keep an eye out.
That'd be lovely.
And then you could say the eyes have it. But, and then Jade will...
taking a big swig.
Oh, that's not gonna help, dear. These kind of jokes and humor just runs through us Shuren bells like water through a river.
Sure does. And Jade will then describe what Elsa looks like to the rest of the crew.
So Elsha is a halfling woman, ruddy skin, brown hair that you have never seen in anything other than 2 braids going down this back of her head to pigtails in the front. She's looks to be in about her late 50s, early 60s.
Okay.
And that reminds me, can I get everyone's passive perceptions?
My passive is 12.
My passive is 13.
How do I calculate passive again?
10 plus your perception.
Yep.
So it's 12.
I have the highest perception. 15.
Okay,
Hey.
good enough.
A.
Thank you.
Interesting indeed. Can I make a history check on Connie's last name?
Sure thing, go ahead.
Julia.
It's an interesting choice.
What number is that? That's a 13?
Okay. So Connie said it was an old name. You've definitely never really heard it before. It does sound vaguely Shurin.
Okie doke.
Sorry, my passive is 11, not 12.
We are a very perceptive group.
Slightly above average, you could say.
Yeah, slightly above average. And that's all you need, really.
And then, Mr. Keon. Well, it's certainly not the most common thing to see a bugbear traveling through civilized areas. What brings you this far into the city?
Oh, funny enough, I've lived in a civilized area myself for my whole life. Used to live in a town that supplied weapons to the capital. But just wanted to not take on the family business, you know? Take a crack at the world myself.
Certainly nothing wrong with that. And then, our very charming Shurin Bell, or the other one, I should say.
Oh, you little charmer, you. I'm an open book. Maltion, what would you like to know?
You know, something tells me that that's not exactly correct, which makes you the most interesting one here. Which is saying something, I mean, considering. But, what brings you to the city, I wonder?
Well, I'm a wandering priestess of Saloon. I'll just sort of wiggle her holy symbol, which I forget which phase of the moon it is again.
Your holy symbol is a waxing crescent moon.
Correct. A waxing crescent moon. That's it. And so I wander from place to place. There's really not much to know about me. I do tell people's fortunes, though, if you're ever interested, Maltion.
No, I think that speaking one's fortune actually sets it in stone, and I'd rather my path be a little more freeform. But I appreciate the offer.
Understandable. Fortune can be tricky that way. But may Saloon's light guide us to the right path.
Yes, indeed. And Maltion will just, mostly after that, just sit quietly unless asked a question. And I'll cast, as I'm doing circles around my glass of water, I'll cast Minor Illusion to turn it into wine.
Well,
Well,
go ahead.
well, Maltion, we've told you, and all of us, a little bit about ourselves. But what about you? What brings you to the city?
Well, that is the tricky thing. You know, I like all of you actually. So I'll let you in on a little secret. I'll sort of lean forward on the table, look left and right, and go, "I'm not even real." Isn't that something? So not too much to talk about.
Keon warily makes an insight check to see if they're actually real.
Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
I'd love to make an insight check as well.
Go for it.
Not on the real part, but just
On
That's a
Maltion.
12.
yeah, I'm vibe checking Maltion.
That's a 12 on insight from me.
Okay.
$27.
Well then.
Wow.
28.
Okay.
I got that 20.
Okay then. So, Keon with a 12 on insight, you look at Maltion and, I mean, you're pretty sure that they're real. You think that if you reached out you could touch them, but you're not sure what exactly they mean. That's kind of a little... Okay. Connie, with the 27, you look at Maltion and you're like, yeah, no, something about Maltion is not real. You don't know what it is.
Noticing how intently Maltion is being scrutinized by Connie, they'll just wink at her and just go back to looking for Elsha.
She'll blow a little kiss at Maltion from that wink.
And Connie, out of the corner of your eyes, you're facing the door. You see the door open, and you do see a halfling woman walk through with a halfling man and a human man. She looks like
Jade?
she might fit the description.
Jade, might that be Elsha over there?
Jade will turn over. Check.
And you turn around, and that is indeed Elsha, and she has a look of absolute defeat on her face.
Well, this hypothetical is going to be very interesting.
Jade will actually walk on over there as opposed to yelling across the tavern. It's like, oh, hey, Elsha.
Oh,
Can I get you a drink?
hi, Jade. I guess you heard?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, a drink would be nice.
All right. Looks over to motions over to Toby, just like, go ahead, put hers on the tab.
Toby will. And he'll snap at one of his barkeeps to pour out an ale for her, and they'll bring it over to you if you're at the table or if you're where she is.
Yeah, actually, part of the reason I want to find you is because I want to see if you give us some details, because I'm looking to take care of those folks who gave you that trouble.
Oh, yeah, sure, I'd be happy to tell you what I can remember.
And then Jade will motion over to like the table, like, me, I got a crew together. Just me by myself probably couldn't do it. So if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure, and she'll motion to the two men behind her to go wait at the bar for her, and she'll come join you at the table, where the barkeep will join you and place the ale in front of her.
Okay.
So you all are Jade's crew, huh?
Indeed we are.
Contracted?
Okay, that's good. I guess if Jade picked you and Velma signed off on you, you are probably up to the job. I mean, I hope so. She kind of looks at Connie and Maltion and is like, I mean, you know what you're getting into. You know what you're getting into. It's fine.
It's quite all right. So sorry to hear about your misfortune. Connie will hand on her back of her hand if it's on the table, and just
Thank you. Yeah, it's already been a hard couple of harvest seasons. I'm honestly not sure how long it's going to take for us to recover from it, but I'll bounce back. I always bounce back.
May Selene's
Yeah.
blessings be upon you for this.
I'll be
fortune.
right back in a few minutes.
Thank you very much.
How long have you guys been attacked by these bandits?
Oh gosh, it must have been 2 or 3 days ago now. God, it's been a blur since then of trying to salvage the barn and find what animals we could, but the fields have gone to shit. And we lost
Any
most of the livestock.
calling cards? Any significant things about that you saw on these bandits? If you saw them at all?
Nothing specific that I can remember.
What did they take?
Only almost all of our stores. I mean, we mostly do grain. We do some vegetables, a little bit of livestock. They took what they could from, chickens, a couple of pigs, one of our milk cows, and most of our stores of grain that they could carry. They had a couple of wagons with them.
That must be quite expensive to replace all of that.
You have no idea. I don't even know how I'm gonna replant next season, let alone sell enough to feed my own. It's not just me running the farm. You understand? I have to hire out for a lot of hands, and she'll point over at the two at the bar. I mean,
Right,
they're
of course.
just the start of it.
And how much total would you say was lost?
Oh gosh, all told, almost my entire income for the year, plus the value of the animals. At least a couple hundred gold worth of. Oh god.
Well, at the very least, we'll see how much we can recover of yours. These aren't exactly easy things to move, especially since the word's gotten out about bandits in the city. So they must have to hold on to their fenced products, at least for a little while.
Yeah, I don't imagine they'll be selling them in the city. It's just not likely. I'm not the first farm they've hit. I'm just the closest.
I'm going to get up and walk over to the bar to the other two halflings.
Sure, go ahead. Halfling and human.
Halfling and human, yeah.
Okay. You do so. They're both sitting there with equally hangdog looks, just bent over 2 cups of ale. And if you look into it, you're pretty familiar. This smells like the cheap stuff.
Excuse me, folks. I assume you all the farmhands that work on that farm that was robbed 2 days ago?
And they'll both turn around and they'll be like, the halfling will speak first, and he's like, yeah, I mean, my name's Amos. You're speaking with my mom over there. This here is, Kevin. He's been with us for, God, what is it? And Kevin will say, 6 seasons. 6 seasons now.
Do you guys think you can give me any more? Okay, fucking. Any more information? Did you see any of these bandits? Or do you know anybody that worked that night that the bandits worked that day that the bandits struck?
Go ahead and make me an insight check, Keon.
Well, that's another 12.
Okay. And Amos will look at you and shake his head and go, "No, can't say that I did. I mean, we knew that there were bandits in the area. We knew that they were hitting different farms, so we took a couple precautions, but you know, we're not fighting folk, so there's only so much we could do. I mean, we're the only three that live at the farm, you understand. The others live in boarding houses in the city, or they have their own houses out in the country.
What kind of precautions did you take?
Well, that night it was Mom and myself and Kevin, and we had a couple of the other hands stay the evening, and we had a watch going, which normally we don't bother. Why would you? I mean, we don't exactly have weapons. It was just what we had around, you know, sickles and such, but they snuck up on us good, and we couldn't really do anything to stop them. There were a lot more of them than there were of us.
Is there, I mean, probably we'll see how my compatriots feel about this. We're probably gonna have to go to the farm, do our own investigation, see what we can find there. But if you can let me know if there's any other farm that hasn't been hit, maybe we can do a preemptive strike against these bandits.
I mean, yeah, I think that we're the third or fourth that's been hit in the past, I'd say maybe 6 weeks. So I don't think that would be... I mean, you have to ask Ma. She's the one who'd give the okay on y'all coming to the farm, but I don't see that being a problem. She knows Jade. So I think that'd probably be fine.
Oh, and it's very hard not for me to like be looming over this little halfling.
The halfling's like climbed up onto a bar stool, so his head is about 5 feet off the ground.
So I lift up my glass and look forward to your cooperation, and take a swig and walk over back to the table.
Okay. And while Keon has been at the bar, what's been happening at the table?
I would have loved to ask Elsha about other farms that have been hit. Try and track map, like pull out a little. Do I have a map of the area? But I have a map of the area.
You've been here for a few days and you've been wandering for longer. I'd say you probably have a map of Oncalo.
Oh. Pull out a map and be like, can you point out which farms have been hit?
I can sure try to approximate where they are. I'm sorry, I wouldn't know
an
exactly.
approximation is fine. I just need to get a feel for where they're hitting, you know?
Okay. She'll point out about 4 spots on the map that are all near to the city that you're in, near Trivik. None as close as her farm, which you understand is pretty much right on the outskirts. They all seem to be to the west of the city, more or less along the Great Road East.
And do you know what direction the bandits left in?
Oh gosh, I think they went westward. Back along the Great Road. Well, obviously not along the road, but in that direction.
Alright. On the map, are there any forests, mountains, or like kind of outdoorsy sort of like places where people could camp and not be immediately spotted westward?
Yeah, sure. So you would know this, having traveled to Trivik. The region to the west of the city is fairly hilly, and there are, I would say, thin forests. Nothing super dense. but there are patches here and there of, woodland forest through the hills.
All right. Did they come from the west as well? Do you know?
Yeah, that they did. Came and left.
All right. Cool. Interesting. Thank you so much for this information.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm happy that I can help.
Connie will glance at Jade and Altion.
Yeah. To sort of see if we can scrounge anything up, you mind if we come up to the farm and have a look around?
Oh, yeah.
Might be something they left that we can find.
Yeah, of course, you're always welcome. Can't feed you like I normally like to, but you're welcome to
That's
stop
alright.
by.
Right now, it's justice that'll be on the menu, if I have anything to say about it.
I hope so. And everyone who's at the table, I want you to roll me an insight check.
Come on.
My passive insight of 18 won't do it.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
Oh,
You're
that
welcome
was
to roll to
almost
see if it's better.
11.
I'd love to. Oh!
That was almost a good number.
23.
Dirty 20.
Okay. And what was yours, Jade?
Mine was 11.
Okay. So while Jade is talking to her about justice, Maltion and Connie, you notice that she kind of has an uneasy look in her eye when bringing them to justice is mentioned.
Any particular reason we can ping? Also,
With a 23, you can tell that she is uncomfortable when Jade says that.
well,
Can I cast Detect Thoughts?
Certainly you can. Remind me how that spell works.
So Detect Thoughts allows me to read the thoughts of certain creatures. When I cast the spell, I can focus on any one creature within 30 feet of me. I initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what is most on its mind in that moment. As an action, I can probe deeper and they can make a wisdom save. If they fail the wisdom save, I gain insight into their reasoning, emotional state, and something that looms largely in its mind.
Okay. And you don't need to make a roll for that, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
If I'm just getting surface thoughts, which is what I'm starting with, this seems to be a very present worry. Then the spell just happens.
Okay. And remind me, are people aware that you are casting this on them?
They would be, but I am going to, instead of using a spell slot, I am going to use my sorcery points to cast this, which I can do because of my psionic mind feature.
Okay.
So I don't need the verbal, somatic, or material components of the spell.
Okay. And she cannot feel you in her mind, correct?
Not unless I push deeper past whatever her surface thoughts are.
Gotcha. Okay. On the surface, as you focus in on her a little bit as you cast the spell, describe to me how you cast it. You're using your psionic mind.
Well, it wouldn't be anything that anyone could see, but there's a dark purple tentacle that comes out of the mouth and wraps around the head of the person I'm casting Detect Thoughts to.
Okay.
Imagery-wise.
All right. So you kind of just part your lips slightly, and a black tentacle that only you can see coils out of your mouth and wraps around her head and kind of touches onto one of her temples. And you feel her fear and her worry, but she's not afraid for you. She's not afraid for herself. She's afraid for the bandits.
Okay. I'll
And
end
she
this
is
spell.
very uncomfortable with the idea of bringing them to justice.
Okay.
You said you didn't know any of these or didn't recognize any of them.
Yeah, no, I don't. I didn't. They were strangers.
Can I roll insight?
Yes, you may.
I would like to as well for that.
Okay.
That'll be another 23. I'm gonna guess that wasn't a great roll.
Jade.
It's not a 1, it's a 10.
Oh,
Okay.
honey.
And
I'm frustrated because I know what my bonus is to this.
Maltion, what's your passive insight?
My passive insight is 16.
Okay. So given Maltion, given what you... Well, actually, we'll start with Jade. Jade, you're listening to her, and your heart just goes out to her and to all the other people who've been working on the farm. You know these people well. You've been living in Trivik for, I think it's a little over a year now, so you are very familiar with this group of people who's been supplying your guild hall with food. You know them, and that's where your mind is right now. But
What's sad is if I would have been paying attention, I would have quote unquote rolled better. That's what's sad about this.
Connie and Maltion, you can tell that she is lying. Maltion, especially with what you've gleaned from your insight into her mind, and Connie, you can tell a lie when you hear one, and she's not especially gifted at it. She recognized some of these people.
Elsha, you know that it would help us if we got all the information that we could to help find these people.
I've given you all the information I can.
I really don't think you have. We're not going to hurt them if we can help it.
She'll take a moment, look down at her drink and sigh. Then look up into your eyes and say, I've given you all the information I can.
Insight check. May I?
Go for it.
Okay, that is just an 18.
Okay. You can see she's looking at you. She's not trying to deceive you, and you can see that she is very sad. She is worried. She is being honest. She will not give you any more information.
Will not or cannot?
You can see that her mind is made up. Whether or not she has more information, she will not be giving you more.
Well, then I suppose this conversation is ended, isn't it? We'll
I suppose.
see you back up towards your farm.
Oh, you'd like to? Okay, sure. You can come tonight. That's.
Oh, we don't have to come tonight. It can be in the morning. You look like you have had a long night. Stay here. I think we'll have to leave here shortly, but if you'd like to stay, I'll tell the barkeep to keep the tab open, and I'll slide her 2 gold pieces. And please, just as much as you need. Enjoy at least a night off. It's the least we can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank
I'd like-
you very much.
I'd like to use my bonus action to speak telepathically to Connie and say, then we'll just go to the farm when she's not there. Keon, I believe it's time we return to the guild hall so we can make our final preparations for the morning.
Righto. And he's just gonna just chug the rest of his drink. And
Okay.
Connie,
Mhm.
Connie shoot her drink as well and just put the.
Sure thing you can.
Do I have to roll
Jade
Constitution?
finished hers.
I'm
She's
not
pretty
gonna
used
make
to
you
it.
roll Constitution, but you do shoot it, and just like the burn of like mid-shelf whiskey.
You know, Jade, I
Mhm.
think your taste in drinks are a little different than mine. Next time we're at
Oh,
the bar,
well,
let me treat you to what I drink.
Sure thing, but to be honest, I was being kind of multi-on. Again, I can drink pretty much all you under the table. I was being nice.
I would love to see you try.
We can make an event of it. We can ring that good old Shurim bell.
Oh,
But not
yeah.
right now. We have things to do.
Okay.
Yes, we can handle that after we celebrate a successful mission.
Maltion, you're an interesting individual.
Remember the golden rule, Connie, and I'll lean in.
I'm not real.
Maltion will start walking toward the door.
And you all are making your way outside the Blue Badger, and that is where we're going to take our break.
Hey!
So stick around. We'll be gone for about 10 minutes. Get a bio break, grab yourself a drink, stretch your legs, and we will be back soon. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the first episode of Hidden Magicks. Our group here, our little band of mercenaries, is leaving the Blue Badger. And where would you like to make your way?
I would like to strongly suggest that Jade lead us to the farm of Elsha.
All right, go ahead and suggest it.
I agree.
Jade, I think it would be helpful if we could see the farm without the worrisome eye of Elsha.
Oh, are you done with your cover story about going back to the guild then?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they're very sus. Very suspicious.
They
Yes.
definitely knew at least a couple of those bandits. And they're just not willing to give up the information.
Well, if it makes them feel better, they're worth more alive than dead. Let's get to work.
All right.
Also, one thing, and Jade will turn to Montion. You.
Mhm.
Now, I already know you're the type who just likes to lie just for the heck of it. But if you do anything to harm Elsa, you're over. You got that?
I would never.
Also, Maltion, that's a neat little trick you did back there.
Yes, it is helpful. Things you can learn in school.
Indeed, indeed. And you learned that in school then?
I did.
Can I roll an insight check? Press X to doubt.
That's gonna be everything that comes out of Multion's mouth. So
Which Jade figured out very quickly. Like, I'm not real. It's just like, oh, you just like lying for fun. Yeah, that's what she did. That's exactly why she didn't bother with any inside rolls. She's like, it's no point.
That'll be
You just like lying for fun.
that'll be a 28 with a natural 20.
I learned that at school.
All right. You learned how to ping into people's brains at school.
Mhm.
That's an interesting.
I didn't say I learned it from a professor or a textbook, but I learned it at school.
Hey, Harper.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use my feature?
Yes, you can. I would say that you've been around these people for at least 10 minutes. You get the sense from your three companions that rolling off of their aura, their presence, all three of them are giving you deep magical energy. And I mean, you look at Maltion, and they've made it very clear what they can do. You look at the loot upon their back, you can kind of make a guess there. You look at Connie, she's a priestess. You look at Jade, who is dressed like a regular old fighter.
But I'm sensing magic off of them.
All three of them.
Is it like, would I be able to sense the kind of, like, is it like distinctively different kinds of magic, or?
Go ahead and make for me an Arcana check.
I'm assuming passing that DC that's on there. Wow. All right. Cool. That's why can I do math? 23.
23. Okay. You can pinpoint a little bit more precisely that from Maltion, they appear to have just a magical aura about their person. You can see, looking at Connie, that her dress, her necklace and her personage all have a glowing aura about them. And as you look at Jade, you see that also her aura is just generally magical.
Interesting. What would Keon do with this information? Who knows? Let's get going.
All right. So you all make your way toward the western gate out of the city. I assume Jade is in the lead here. You know where the Elsha's farm is.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
Before we
Go ahead.
start to tromp around, how well can everyone see in the dark?
Oh, not very well.
Not very well.
Really well.
Maltion?
I'll cast light on my finger.
Ah. I mean, I had a different idea, but that's all right. In that case, then I will press a hand to myself and give myself vigilant blessing.
Okay. So you do, and your eyes become very awake to the night, and you can see quite clearly.
Is that the story way of saying that all of us don't have dark vision except for me? Or
I have
Maybe.
but also I have vigilant blessing is giving myself advantage on the next initiative roll.
Oh, you're not using your other.
No, I
Amazing.
naturally get to be able to see in the dark from my class features.
That's correct. That's what it was. So your eyes are already awake to the night.
Uh-huh.
But you feel yourself become a little bit more aware.
yeah, I can see in the night. So
Yes. So for the purposes of mechanics, Connie and Keon can see in the dark. I believe that Maltion and Jade cannot. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that's why I got the light spell.
All right. So you all make your way to the western gate. By this time, it's about 9 o'clock at night. You left the guild hall a little after 7. So you make your way toward the exit, and you see that the gates are shut, and there are 2 guards posted on either side of the gate, and you see that there's also a guard in the guardhouse. And as you approach, they go, "Oh, we're kind of closed up for the night."
Yeah, but Elsa said I could take a look around.
Oh, you're with the Crow's Cradle, aren't you?
Correct.
I mean, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, I wish that we could deal with these guys, but I mean, if they've hired out to you, then by all means. They'll just need to see all of your identification real quick.
Sure thing.
All right. So he'll take your 4 identification cards and go into the guardhouse. He comes out about 2 minutes later, hands them back to you, and says, "All right, you can go right through," and they'll open up a smaller door that's set into the large gate.
Thank you kindly.
Anytime. Good luck out there.
Have a lovely evening.
You too, ma'am.
Right.
What?
I went
Why
to-
is he confused? Is that jacket?
Sure, if you want to.
What? I'm not dressed that oddly. I'm just. What are the vestments of my church? A 19.
Yeah, you can tell that he's like maybe 19 or 20 years old, and he's just awkward.
I'll give him a wink and blow him a kiss as I walk by.
You can see that he flushes just a little pink under his cheeks, and he's like,
Keep up the good
Okay.
word.
"Okay, good. Yeah, good night." Yep.
As we get further away, just go into Connie, just like, you are a scamp, aren't you?
Only when I want to be.
It seems to be often. Not that I think that's a problem.
The goddess doesn't judge, so might as well have some fun while we're down here.
All right. Seeing as how going by the question of vision earlier, how about we split into twos?
I
I-
can make it so that we can all see in the dark, but only for an hour.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
But
think an hour would do. Oh, sorry.
Jade, you would know that if you're going on foot, Elsha's farm is about an hour out of town.
We could probably.
Oh. Might need to be able to see a little longer than that. It's about an hour to get to her place in the first place.
Let's see. Perhaps we could use it while we're walking around her place. Be a little.
Yeah,
encouraging.
around her
Or-
place, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We got a little time.
I'll hold on to this little trick of mine then.
And I'll cast light on my hair tie. Just for while we're walking.
That seems like a good way to make yourself a target, but replace.
Well, unfortunately, and Maltion will kind of look at themselves and say, I can't really get more obvious of a target than this. But you know what they say about colorful plants in the wild.
Don't eat them because they're poisonous.
Correct. Shall we?
Jade's kept walking this whole time, actually. So yeah.
Okay. So you all make your way, making whatever light conversation or no conversation you wish for an hour.
Can I keep my head on a motherfucking swivel?
Yes, you can. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. Yes, Mom.
Can I not whatsoever?
Yes, absolutely.
Dope.
I have dark vision for 300 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Hot diggity dog. I
Jeez,
love being cleric.
that's a lot of feet.
It's a lot of feet.
That'll be a 19. I lack proficiency in
I can only see a mere 60.
a mere 6, like a peasant.
All right, so you are making your way westward along the Great Road East, as it is called. Apologies for any confusion. There it is, the Great Road East, and you are heading west on it. It is
Go west on east.
yes. It is a very well paved road. The Empire has seen to it that this road is maintained. It's wide enough that about 5 wagons could travel abreast and be completely fine. At the moment, there's no one out on the road. It's fairly late at night. The area around, even for those without dark vision, is somewhat decently lit by the half moon in the sky. The waxing half moon, to be specific, for our cleric of Saloon. And you make your way, and Connie, you're keeping your head on a swivel. You don't really see anything that isn't normal from all of your years of wandering. It appears to just be a regular road at night. And after walking for approximately an hour, you come to the turnoff that you, Jade, know to be the turnoff for Elsha's farm.
All right. All right. This should be the place. If you want to go ahead and do a little bit of your thing to help us see help us see better, we can split up even more.
Well, of course. I will grant everyone share the dark vision of my feature with everyone. So now everyone can see 300 feet in the dark. I'll
Ooh.
give it to Keon as well, because I do not think his dark vision extends quite as far as mine.
Oh wow, that is nifty.
It is. I cannot do
so
words per night.
Can you describe what it looks like as you bestow this gift upon them, Connie?
Yes. Connie is wearing a wide-brimmed hat, kind of like a church hat, and she will run a finger along the inside of the brim, and her eyes will kind of glitter a little bit as she then snaps her finger, and everyone's eyes sort of flash a little silver before settling back.
So you all
Blessings of the moon.
feel that sparkle, and all of a sudden you all can see for many feet around you.
Cool.
Okay.
Um,
Let's go ahead and
Have
split
my
up.
Church school. I'll wink at Maltion.
I'm going to look for the highest point of this farm.
Sure. So as you make your way down the kind of off-road into the farm area, you see that it's mostly been tilled completely flat to make space for crops. You see that there are some low fenced-in hills where presumably there's usually livestock. There is a large grain silo that stands approximately 3 stories tall. And then there is the barn and the farmhouse, which are both about 2 stories tall.
Alright, time to climb that grain silo.
Go ahead. There is a ladder built into the side of it. It's not that difficult to get up there.
Cool. Just gonna go up there and just take a lay of the land. See, just like they said they came from the forest. Came from the west, I believe.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna look at the forest, look to the west, see what I can see, like where, like exactly like where they would have like broken in and done some damage.
Sure, okay. What's everyone else doing while Keon is climbing the grain silo?
I will watch Keon climb the grain silo and say, well, someone's full of energy. I suppose that 2 Shuren bells could pair off as needed.
And what will you be doing, Maltion?
I'll be taking a stroll, investigating. Nothing you won't be doing.
All right. Well then, Jade, shall we?
Sure thing.
All right. Well, actually, I do see this feature. Can I use Steps of Night to give myself a flying speed equal to my walking speed for 1 minute and just sort of
Yes, you can.
float up and then sort of see what I can see from a little higher?
Okay, you could definitely within that minute get higher than Keon if you so wished.
Would I be able to come down safely before,
I'd say yes, you could.
Okay, I'd love to just 1 second and just whoop.
As Connie takes flight, Maltion will look at Jade and go, and she says, I'm the interesting one. And then Maltion will just start going around the farm, looking at things, for things.
Okay, any things in particular?
Bandit things. I want to find a bandit footprint.
Okay.
You know, bandit shaped.
It's bandit season.
I want to find like one of those walls, and there's just like a Looney Tunes outline of like a bandit.
Gotcha, okay. And Jade, what will you be doing?
Jay would be checking around near where the animals were kept. Maybe even chicken coop specifically, checking around there to see if there's any like stray pieces of fabric maybe that got left behind.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
In that case, I'm going to ask for perception checks from Keon and Connie, and investigation checks from Jade and Maltion.
Oh boy. Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to roll this one. No, I'll give you this one.
Come on. 21.
Okay.
Hey. Glad someone's doing great. 7.
What? Nope.
God bless.
We're working with a 5.
God I own it.
Connie?
That is a 16.
Okay.
Go, Shurins, go! High five.
Go, Sharons, go.
Okay. Keon, you are up on top of the grain silo and you start to take a look around, but your attention is immediately caught by Connie as she soars up from below at your level and then past you, and your sense is pinging, and the vague magical aura that you sensed around her earlier is now flashing silver in your eyes.
Oh, that's fun.
And that is... it's difficult for you to tear your eyes away from that.
Cool.
Maltion, you're a city kid. You've spent some time out in the country, but all of this is fairly new to you. You follow a set of footprints that you find in the mud that just kind of ends up leading you to what you assume is an outhouse based on the smell. You track it backward and it goes to the front door of the farmhouse, and you're like, oh, well, thought I had something there, guess not.
In my meandering, do I get to a place where I'm alone?
You can, yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll DM you.
Okay.
Nothing good is about to happen.
I'm definitely not worried about this at all.
Actually, I'll be right back too. I'll just put the screen on.
Okay. I'm getting a DM.
Oh.
It's always fun, a DM to the DM. Love to see it.
Uh-oh.
DM.
One could say that I am getting a DDM to the DM.
DCM to the DM.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Oh, are we like paused for that? Oh,
Yeah, we
it's nothing to wait for.
Okay. Well, I mean, the next thing is Jade. So. Although I guess we could move on to Connie. So Connie, with a 16 in perception, I will say, go ahead. You're actually making this roll an advantage.
All right. Hot diggity dog. That would be a 24 for a natural 19 with a natural 19.
Okay. So with a 24, as you cast about with your senses, you can tell that Elsha was here. You spent enough time in her presence. You recognize that. Was here fairly recently. You can also tell that at least a dozen strangers have been here within the past few days. There haven't been any rains in this area in quite a while to wash away their signs. Looking westward, you can see at the very edges of your vision a slight woodland start to encroach, but it's mostly been cleared out in this area for Elsha's farm. But you can, from this vantage point, see rough wagon tracks cutting through what at one point was a pasture for the livestock. You can tell that Elsha wouldn't be treating her own land like that. This was most likely the direction the bandits went.
Alright, I'll go back down. I'll give a little wave to Keon as I descend.
Mm-hmm. And
Keon's just...
yes, we can say that happened.
Keon's just gonna say, so damn bright. Just under his breath.
All right.
Do I hear Keon say that?
Roll me a perception check. And Keon, are you trying to be quiet about it?
Yep.
Roll me.
Sleight of hand?
Yeah, we can call it
Performance?
Yo.
We'll call it a performance or sleight of hand. You get to pick.
I'm gonna do
sleight of hand.
Okay.
That's gonna be 17.
Okay.
21.
Damn it!
So you do, in fact, with your heightened senses from the night, hear Keon say this.
What's this thaumaturgy do?
It
Can
just
I?
makes you laugh.
Can I? I can change my eye appearance. Can I flicker my eyes like brightly and just thank you very much? And as I float down.
Absolutely. All right.
And
And Keon, there is a silver blur in your vision almost from when you look at a light directly and then try to look anywhere else. That silver blur is just stuck in your vision. You can't see anything else.
oh, that's fun. I'm just gonna climb down then.
Okay.
As we're reconvening, Multion would like to cast Sending to the lovely people they played cards with earlier this evening,
Okay. Sure.
and say, "Do me a favor. Let me know if anyone tries to move livestock or a lot of grain."
Okay. A minute'll pass. You'll hear a ping in the back of your brain. Which one of them were you sending to?
The one who was not outwardly disgusted by certain things about me.
Okay. The human woman.
Yes.
Okay. So you hear a ping in the back of your mind saying, well, I'm not sure how to contact you, but I'll certainly try. I'll look for you in the tourist quarter if I find anything.
Nope. Multion doesn't respond.
Okay. Alright, and Jade, the 21 investigation. You wander over toward the farm and the chicken coop, and you can see several pairs of heavy boot marks. And you're relatively familiar with people who lived on this farm. Mostly halflings worked here. These appear to be the boot marks of much larger humanoids. These were not left by Elsha or her farmhands. Looking into the chicken coop, you can see that there are no chickens left, no eggs. Everything has been picked clean. You can hear coming from the barn the lowing of a couple of cows, but can't hear much else. You can surmise that pretty much everything, all of the livestock, has been taken from here. And you do see in the central main area between the farmhouse and the barn the ruts of a couple of different wagons that were pulled in quickly, turned around and left. You can see that there's not been any attempt made at stealth here.
Gotcha. So seeing that, she's definitely thinking like, oh, someone on the inside definitely helped with how quick this must have gone.
Okay.
They were in and out. That's what her current thought.
Okay. And I believe you all are reconvening.
Mhm.
At let's say the base of the grain silo that Keon's climbing down.
Sure thing.
Yep.
Well, any of you find anything interesting? Figure we can go one by one.
I found absolutely nothing. I've never actually been on a farm before.
I was a bit distracted.
Sorry about that, Keon. I did see a forest off to the side over there, about 300 feet out, that appear to have some wagon tracks heading toward them. That might be a good hint as to where they went.
Hmm. And so, I know I found some tracks that were decidedly not halfling around the chicken coop. Found some wagon ruts too. With how quick this must have gone, I'm guessing they must have had at least some insider information. They seem to be in and out, judging by how this went.
Pretty
I
sure.
suppose the question is why then? If this is someone that Elsha knows to some degree, at least a degree that would make them not want to face maximum punishment for such a thing, why would she let it happen?
Maybe less of letting it happen, and rather not wanting anything bad to happen to some of the folk who were involved. She seems to know some of them.
Yes, but I mean, I understand generosity to a certain extent, but with all that they stole, they essentially shut her farm down and have confined her family to starving for the next season. How many
Perhaps
people?
this is a family matter then. People do a lot of things for people they consider family.
I suppose we could ask one of them when we find them, because surely we're going to at least track them down and see what's up.
Oh, for sure.
It's just something odd. Something's not right. If, don't get me wrong, I didn't exactly grow up in the most lavish of means. I understand sharing the last of what you have, but I mean, they took a bit more than their fair share, didn't they?
Perhaps, but we're not going to find out the answer to this question just sitting here and yawning. What's the
I don't know that that's true. Actually, is the front door unlocked?
You can go check.
I'll walk up to it, jiggle the handle.
And you can feel that, yes, the front door is locked.
Okay. I want to go over to one of the windows. I want to try and see if I can get, like, this is hard to describe. Like, I want to try and see into, like, a dining room, like, sitting area, if at all possible.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere that I'm looking for pictures, like portraits of people. Jade, do you know if Elsha has more children or nephews, nieces, younger people, other than just the one that was with her?
Do I?
You would know that Elsha is a widow. As far as you're aware, Amos is her only child.
Far as I know, just has the one child. No, no partner either. They passed a while back.
How did they pass out of curiosity? Do you know?
It was before you came to Trivik, Jade. Have you ever asked her?
Probably not. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been in Trivik that long.
Fair enough.
Mm.
I'd rather not break into a woman's house after she's been wrong.
Yes, of course. And I'll go around to the back of the house.
Okay. You can see that this farmhouse doesn't have glass windows. It has shutters on it. Shutters are currently closed.
What's missing? There's something we're missing. There's another layer to this. Well, I'm stumped. Forrest?
Let's go.
It's our best. It's our best clue going forward right now.
Yes, and cracking head's a little easier than detective work, as it were.
And
Gleaned
I'll say that you're
info.
about 15 minutes into your blessing, Connie.
Excellent. Shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, you can do that little flying trick for all of us. Or is that just a you thing?
It is just a me thing. A little extra
Fair enough.
boon from. She'll point up at the moon.
Yeah, saloon. I gotcha. All right, on foot it is.
All right. So you all are following the wagon tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see. Connie.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, can I get everyone's passive investigations?
Investigation. That's an 11.
15.
12.
12.
Yeah.
Woo!
What was Connie's
Some
again?
person-
Sorry.
11.
11. Okay.
Connie's intelligence modifier is not very high.
Okay. So, you all are following these wagon tracks as they cut through the pasture, where you assume that that Elsha probably grazed her livestock. Jade, as you're walking through here following the wagon tracks, you are taking a good look at it really for the first time. You notice that the grass appears fairly dried out, kind of dead looking. Like, there are bare patches that look like they've been grazed down and haven't really grown back.
Well, that's odd. I mean, farming's not my specialty, but grass typically grows back. Can I could I try and make a nature check?
Sure, go ahead.
Not my best, but I figure I'd give it a shot. No.
What did you get?
I
see. All right. I mean, you're certainly not scared of roughing it, but you haven't spent significant time on a farm. You don't really know anything about making plants grow.
Nope.
Can I try?
Certainly. Go ahead.
I love you, Dice. You are treating me well today. Mwah. That will be a 19.
Okay.
This dice just
Nice.
Mwah. Mwah.
So with a 19 nature check, you know that it doesn't look like this grass has been, uprooted any more than you'd expect from wagons rolling over it. It doesn't look like that anything's been dug up. The earth isn't turned over. Although looking around, you do see the footprints that were left weren't left in mud. They were left in dust. And there appears to be some cracking in the earth where normally you'd expect it to be good, healthy soil. How long-
Didn't she mention
How long have you been in Oncalo, Connie?
in Oncalo, but that's the country,
That's
correct?
the region, yeah.
Region? Probably at least a couple months, I'd imagine,
Okay.
wandering around, if not longer.
So, thinking about your time in Oncalo, it's been summer, it's been the rainy season, we're heading into fall now, and you can't recall the last time it rained.
I can recall.
Can't.
Can't. Well, Elsha also said something about it's being a hard couple seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, probably a result of that. Can I make an Arcana check or something of that nature?
Sure, go ahead.
Cool.
What exactly are you checking?
Just to see if there isn't something magical about this area in particular getting
Sure. go
cracked
ahead.
up. Is it all that's cracked up to be? Wow, you rolled low for me. That'll be a 12.
You look around with your trained eye, and you don't see anything inherently magical about this. This looks like a natural phenomenon.
Well, it has been dry lately. Can anyone else remember the last time it rained?
Been a bit, I suppose.
Imagine
Jade,
it's probably been.
you've lived here for the past year or so. It's rained maybe once in that year, and not a lot.
Yeah, no, come to think of it, I can only remember it raining once since I've been here. Like I said, not that long, but one bit of rain in a year? It's a lot thinking about it. Mostly I think about money, so.
Fair enough. Well, maybe these people were desperate.
That doesn't excuse taking someone's livelihood from them.
No, it doesn't. Just trying to see if we can understand what they were doing.
They can tell to the judge as far as I'm concerned. They don't resist too much.
I guess we'll have to see. Sally Ford?
Sure thing.
Okay. So you all make your way into the edges of the forest. Is anyone keeping an eye out?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Figure, could we, what do we want to do? Sharon in the front, Sharon in the back?
That sounds like a good idea.
Is there... I want to see if there's anything I can glean off the tracks themselves. Is there a way that I can make like a survival check on that?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make a survival check.
Should I make a perception check?
Yes, for the two who are keeping watch, go ahead and make perception checks for me.
That is 22.
Okay.
Do I get advantage for this?
Yes, you get advantage on this one.
Excellent, because it rolled low for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Rolled a 2. That's not like a whole lot better.
Okay, so we got a 22 survival check from Keon. Jade and Connie, what are your perception checks?
14.
8.
Okay. And Maltion, you're just in your own head over there?
Oh, I'm vibing.
Oh,
Maltion's just vibing.
You're doing great, Jed. You're doing great, Jed.
all
Do
right.
we want to be stealthy?
Would you like to be stealthy?
I was. That'd be Jade's intention.
Yeah, let's be a little stealthy then.
Okay. Well, I'll need stealth rolls from the party.
Alright. Well, crap. That's gonna be 13 for me. Gotta love chainmail.
Connie?
18.
Maltion? Okay. And Jade? Oh, okay.
2 ones? Are you
Wow.
kidding?
Wow.
This isn't the kind of synchron. This isn't how I want us to be in sync, babe.
Listen.
Not how I want it.
Maltion just starts like belting out a song, like just unconscious, just like vibing and just starts singing.
And then I bet just like Jay, just out of habit, just like I just starts humming along, just like unconsciously. Then
Connie's just like,
just like do, 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 do.
I'm like trying to hold my chains together just make it sing. It's not clapping.
Connie is just like, I'm one with the woods.
Mm-hmm. But, so Connie, you are used to traveling at night. It is, in fact, your preference. You are fairly confident in your ability to blend into the shadows, especially in a forest area like this. Keon, you also have some experience hunting at night, although you're finding, yourself occasionally tripping over the odd tree root or rustling up a bush that makes your chainmail jangle in a way that can be heard from yards off. Maltion, you really are not paying attention to where you're walking. You're a city kid, and you are not used to roughing it through the woods. You're cracking twigs and branches, and you occasionally forget to watch where you're walking and walk forehead first into a branch and go, ow! Yep.
Pass.
Definitely if Multion's behind me, just like a branch just like brushes off me.
Mm-hmm. At one point, it gets bent back and snapped. And Jade,
Connie's just praying to the balloon, like.
and Jade, are you in the front or are you in the rear?
Jade was in the front.
Okay, so you are in the front, and you are so.
Actually, I'm trying to think. I'm just actually trying to figure out what makes most sense because Connie saw the forest. So I guess Connie, that'd be up to you. Did you want the front or the back?
The front.
Okay, so Jade would be in the back in that case.
So you are very intent
Still
on
one.
not losing your quarry. You're not super used to being able to see this well in the dark. And
Okay.
you're so intent upon not losing them in the woods, which in your year living in Trivic, you haven't really explored these woods very much. They are unfamiliar to you.
Yeah. Sure.
And you find yourself humming to calm yourself. But you don't really hear it, but Keon in front of you can.
Right.
Yep.
I'm being stealthy. I'm being stealthy. I'm being stealthy.
So, actually, we'll probably say that Maltion's in front of you, because I'm assuming that with that survival check, Keon would also be close to the front. So Maltion and Jade bringing up the rear here, not being quiet whatsoever, the two of you.
We're being so quiet.
Quick, let's beatbox. Boom, boom.
So Keon, you have no trouble following these tracks. You are used to tracking in all kinds of conditions. You can tell that there are multiple different wagon tracks here, and from the shod nature of the horses that were pulling these wagons, you can tell that 2 wagons went in, 2 wagons came back out, and the wheel ruts are deeper as they're heading back out. You can tell that they were carrying a heavy load. Connie and Jade, with your perception checks, appears to be a quiet night in the forest. You can't hear much of anything. Connie, your senses are extending outward, and you don't really sense anything other than the normal things you'd expect. Small animals bedding down for the night. You can hear the hooting of an owl, perhaps a quarter mile away. But nothing out of the ordinary.
Is it an actual owl?
You can go ahead and make me a perception check.
Okay.
No, it's a hood hour. He's like, hoo hoo, motherfucker.
Rowlet.
Hoo hoo.
Hey!
It's a hood owl. Hoo hoo,
Oh,
motherfucker.
Hoot hoot.
Do I get advantage on this?
No,
Not
you do
owl.
not.
That is deeply tragic.
Owl.
So you're listening.
The
and,
superb owls I've been hearing about.
You're listening, and you are honestly kind of paranoid, and you hear the hoo, hoo, and you're like, is that a person? What the hell was that?
Is that a... Anyone else hear that?
Hear what?
It sort of sounds like... I thought I heard a person. Never mind. Just keep walking.
Not doing great, folks.
We're doing fantastic. Thank you very much.
We all have rolled 1s at this point, right? AJ, have you rolled 1?
I have not.
Oh, it's coming. No, that's right. I rolled 2 1s. There we go. I rolled 1 for AJ.
There we go.
Roll 1 out for your...
So you all walk for approximately 45 minutes before the dark vision fades. Jay, did you want to do something before that happens?
So actually, I want to do something as that happens.
Okay, sure. So about approximately 45 minutes into this walk into the forest, you're still following the tracks. Everyone but Connie, you feel a bit of a luster leave your vision, and all of a sudden, for Keon, you're back to your normal nighttime vision. For Maltion and Jade, the world goes fairly dark.
Light and
I just want to check something really quick. Jade's going to trail a bit, Jade's going to trail a bit behind once the vision has dimmed, till she's at the back anyway, and that happens. I'm going to DM you something real quick.
Okay.
Ooh.
Meantime, Maltion, what color is the light that you're summoning?
it is like It almost looks like an eclipse. Like there's white at the center, but most of it's got this dark black rim.
Okay. And it's just a ball of it sitting in the palm of your hand?
Nothing so plain. Multion's like doing like the coin trick where you run it along your fingers and
Of course, yeah.
just
Very-
like fidgeting.
Very flashy, not as good for seeing in front of you, but, you know.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, okay. Not gonna help your stealth roll.
That's fine.
And as the dark vision fades, all right. Yes, Alicia. Yes, Jade, that does happen. Okay. So as you all are making your way forward, actually, hold on. I do need to check on something.
Uh-oh.
Boop, 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 boop. Okay. I'm gonna need a roll from you, Alicia, and I'll text you what it is.
Who would DM the DM something secretive and keep that from their party?
I don't know, D. Who would DM the DM?
Who would do that?
Who would ever do such a thing? I mean, really, secrets in
Definitely
it.
D wouldn't DM the DM.
Halcyon.
There's not. Hey, listen. There's nothing hidden in this campaign. This is out in the open, Magicks. Everything is laid
D
bare
would
and
definitely
nothing interesting
not-
is happening.
D
Listen,
would
Probably
definitely
no
not
fun.
DM the DM during a D&D session.
listen. Multion is an open book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. You're all open books. Picture books, in fact.
Exactly.
Very easy to read.
Yep.
Anyway, so you all continue making your way forward. Keon still tracking near the front. I will ask Keon and Jade with your new limited vision to make new perception checks, and Jade, yours will be at disadvantage.
Okay.
I get ever so closer to a 1. It is a 4.
Okay.
Just had to be disadvantaged, didn't it?
Man, the dice
7.
not a fan of y'all today.
Okay.
Well, no, my first roll was fine for once.
And Maltion, I'll actually have you roll a perception as well. Just a general
Oh,
perception. And we'll say that since you have cast light, you can roll it. You're nullifying the disadvantage.
10.
Wow, okay. And
Yeah,
Keon,
we're
what did you
doing
get
great.
again?
What did I get?
Yeah.
Or what did...
An 8?
4.
A 4.
I got a 4. I got a 4,
So-
yes.
4, 7,
10.
10. And
Yeah.
we're riding with Connie at a 14. Okay, sure. So, Keon, you are still tracking these wagon tracks. They're honestly not too difficult to track. There's no set road or path that they seem to be following, but the wagon wheels have left a very clear path for you all to follow. As you are traveling through the forest, everything seems to be rather quiet and not out of the ordinary for those of you who are used to being in the forest. Maltion, you as a city kid are actually kind of surprised by how loud the forest can be at night. You hear more animals moving about than you would have thought.
Sick.
Connie,
Yes? Sorry.
Where exactly are we meant to be going?
We're just following the wagon tracks for now.
Still,
Yes.
it's been a bit, hasn't it?
Well, yes, but I imagine you stole a bunch of stuff from some people. You probably want to get away as fast as possible and as far as possible. But I'm thinking that they have a base camp somewhere. we follow these tracks, we might find them.
They stole from a farm on the edge of a forest that they then hid in.
Well, there's more. I'm just imagining they passed through this area, so.
All right, I will follow your lead.
Alright.
All right. And as you all continue to make your way, the trees thin out, and you're following the tracks, and they seem to lead you out of this small patch of forest. And you can see, well, Connie, you can see ahead of you, there are a few hills coming up. You remember forests are fairly spotty here. They're not consistent, but hills, there are lots of hills. And you, Keon, are following them, and they seem to go down to the side of one hill and around. And Connie, if you can follow the tracks, you see that they extend for quite a way. They extend past the edge of your vision.
Well, we should buck up. Looks like the tracks keep on going into the hills.
And I would say that at this point it is approaching midnight.
Alright.
You guys think that they live in the hills, or their
Right.
hideouts are in the hills themselves?
Probably.
Like inside the hills or just in the hilly area?
Inside the hills.
It's possible. We can see where the tracks lead us and then go from there.
I am just gonna have I'm gonna have my glaive at the ready.
Okay.
I'd love to have my hands, one hand in my pocket, if I could.
Okay.
I will take no precautions.
Okay. And you all begin to follow the tracks out of the forest. And could I get everyone to make me perception checks again, please? We're in a new environment.
Do I get advantage for this time as well?
Fucking
Give
fine.
me
You do
something
still get
good.
advantage, yes, Connie.
Woo!
God damn it.
Tell me that you love me.
I hate this day.
You are
Why am I
rolling
keep,
at
I keep on
disadvantage.
rolling
No,
threes?
I don't.
I'm just
not a
I
one,
keep
but it
on
doesn't matter.
switching the dice and I keep on rolling threes.
Babe, roll your actual dice.
But fuck, that actually was better. But what I rolled was a 6.
Start rolling your
Okay,
actual dice.
6 from Jade. Keon, what do we have?
4 again.
Okay. Connie,
18.
18. And Maltion?
21.
21. Okay, Maltion,
At least-
as you see Connie and Keon getting ready for something, and you yourself are taking no precautions, you take a glance behind you. Jade's not there. You could have sworn that she was behind you in the forest. She's not there anymore.
Must be dead. Okay. Continue walking.
Dead.
Worst crew
I'll,
ever.
Do you say that out loud, Maltion?
No.
Okay.
That's D being a little shit.
Okay.
I will lean forward to Connie and say, you met Jade this evening, right?
That's true.
All right.
Why?
No chance that she could be involved in this.
I
Correct?
don't think so. Why do you ask?
Just curious.
Jay?
When Connie turns her head, I cast Greater Invisibility on myself.
Okay. Keon, are you looking at the two of them?
What?
You were such a little shit. Oh.
I
This is the person who just vanished, I guess.
because I'm just standing there, just like, what is happening?
I love
So-
this character so much.
So, Keon, you are sitting there watching as Connie, a little bit in front of you, Maltion catches up to Connie and says something in her ear. And Maltion, how low are you trying to speak?
Not particularly.
Okay, so you can hear
I'll
everything that Maltion says. And then you watch as Connie looks around back toward you and Maltion disappears.
Keon, have you seen Jay?
And Connie, it's odd. Maltion says that Jade's not there, but you can still sense her. She's there.
Jay?
You just can't see her.
Can I... Maltion, what are you talking... Can I sense Maltion?
Yes. You can, in fact, sense Maltion.
I'm assuming I probably can sense most too.
Roll your perception check. Actually, with your ability, yeah, you can actually sense the general idea of where Jade and Maltion both are. You have a vague idea. Let's say within a 10-foot radius of where they must be.
We're
As-
all invisible.
Guys, it's
Are y'all doing this for a strategic reason, or...
yeah,
Yeah,
like
of course. We were the two loudest walking through the forest, which I apologize for. I figure at least being invisible will make us a little more difficult to pick up on.
That
makes sense.
Fair enough. Jade? Now look at
Jade?
the vicinity of Jade.
I'd say you're looking probably about 5 feet to Jade's left.
Okay. Well, tracks keep going, so I guess we'll just, salad forth. Jade, if you need anything, you can tap me on the shoulder, something of that nature.
Keon's just thinks, I'm so not used to all this magic.
just pat.
Jade will just lightly, kind of lightly grip your shoulder, and then kind of put like she'll attempt to put a thumbs up, like up to like your neck, I guess, to get the point across. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, I guess that's a thumbs up. Shall we?
Let's keep continuing on, looking at these tracks and following them.
All right.
I guess the other two will follow.
So the tracks continue on into the night, and so does your group. 2 members being invisible, and that is where we are going to
Allegedly.
And that is where we are going to end our session for today. Thank you so much to everyone for watching. Thank you to the amazing players. Gonna give them each a moment to speak about their lovely selves, and we will start on my right with Alicia.
Hey, I'm Alicia, Ninja9 on Twitch, Ninja9 on Twitter. I'm a punster, and I have snakes. You can find me in a lot of places, and if you want to know where that is, follow me on Twitter. That's me.
All right, I'll pass it on down to AJ.
Hi, I'm AJ, also known as Husha Kid. You can find me on the 3 T's of social media, TikTok, Twitter, and Twitch as Husha_Kid. Probably more on Twitter and TikTok because that's where I'm more active. You can find me on Critical Misses on Tuesdays and Thursdays for 2 different TTRPGs, one for Masks and one for Cypher. On Critical Misses, twitch.tv/Critical Misses. You can find me somewhere in the future on Kids Table whenever we do it. And also, hey guys, I'm the transcriber. I haven't been doing a good job, but I'm the transcriber for Chaotic Creations.
Just in case you didn't know.
You've been doing a great job. We love your
You're
descriptions.
amazing.
And we'll pass it along to Darby.
Hello. It's me, Darby. I'm trying very hard to conspicuously speak in my normal voice, otherwise I will slip back into the Southern Belle, or the Shuren Belle. Darby, you can find me as @DarbyPack on Twitter. That's my actual human name, but really, I'm just a possum in a skin suit. So you can find me here. You can also find me on Wednesdays, with Harper, my lovely co-host of Chaotic Creations, a TTRPG podcast where we take weird prompts and make weird TTRPG characters. You can find us anywhere you can listen to podcasts, as well as on the Critical Misses channel at 9 a.m. Wednesdays PST. You can also see me Wednesday evenings in Pale Cold Sun with the lovely Dee as our Master of Ceremonies, where we play a vampires, and Alicia, a Vampires of Masquerade 5th edition game. What else am I in? You can also find me elsewhere on Critical Misses on System Crash, which starts Sundays at a time. The Kids Table with Harper, AJ, D, and myself. And also here on the Chaotic Pod Twitch channel. On Tuesdays I stream Darby's Dungeons, where I just play games, usually Darkest Dungeon. And on Thursdays doing co-op Chaos with Harper. And I think that is everything I'm in at the moment. Oh, Kingsguard!
That is correct.
Kingsguard, a Roll20 sponsored game, of which you can see our 4-episode pre-season prologue, where we play 4 nobles trying to take the throne for Stoneheart. So we can watch that on the Noir Enigmas channel. That's me.
Yeah. And D.
Hi, my name's D. I'm a variety streamer over on Twitch. You can find me twitch.tv/itstheridla. I play Julian in Woodsy Studios' Crimson Spires, which is a visual novel game. You can commission me for any voiceover or writing work that you may need. Easiest way to contact me is on Twitter, where I am @itstheridler, Ler at the end, not LA like on Twitch.
All right. And I am Harper. I have been your dungeon master. You can find me @HarperSona Games on Twitter, @HarperSona every other place on the social internet. And I am one half of the people who run this Twitch channel with Darby. So you can find me streaming here on Thursdays with Darby for Co-op Chaos, and on Saturdays for Harper's Homeroom, where I stream a variety of games and also just chilling. This has been Hidden Magicks. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye.